Hey everybody, welcome. What we're doing tonight is obviously the name of this video is It All Balances Out. And what I'm going to do, most everybody knows that's been following me knows that I'm going to go to the Nationals here, and and we're leaving this weekend. So it's kind of tough for a trim change, but I am going to explain why I'm going to do this. What the heck is going on here? Didn't want to close. Why didn't it want to close? Oh, that's why. There we go. 6 watchers, 2 thumbs up. That's good. Still don't want to close. What the heck's going on here? There it is. Okay, simple balance board. What I have here, let me change the view. It looks kind of washed out for some reason. Exposure. That ain't it. Huh. Let me check my account, make sure I'm signed in. Yeah, I'm not signed in. That's the problem. Okay, we'll log in here. Hopefully we don't lose it. Okay, that's better. All right. We'll go back to this camera here. Camera 1. I don't want it zoomed. This one. Yeah, we're on the wrong camera. Okay. What I've done is I got a piece of picture and sound are good. Thank you, Craig. I got a scrap block of Apatong. You can use pine. You can use a 2x4, whatever. And we're going to make a simple balance board. I went and got a box of pencils. Normally when I balance these, I just hold them in my hand and go, yeah, that's about right. But I'm trying to get this airplane, the Tucker, to fly exactly like the Junar. That should be good. Hopefully those pencils will fit down in there. Let me tidy up this mess so it doesn't get on the carpet. Oh, shoot. I was too tired last night, guys, for any video. It was a club meeting night, and I could have went flying, but this job just kills me. It's seriously taken away from my modeling time. Okay. This piece of Apatong is about 4.5 inches wide and about 9 inches long. We'll see if we can get the pencils to go down in there. Nope. Gonna have a bigger drill bit. Don't want to make it too big though and make them sloppy. That means more mess. Yeah, that should do it. There we go. Sacrificial pencils. The reason why I drilled it all the way through is I want these pencils even so that the airplane sits up on them evenly. It seems like it's rocking here, so we're gonna have to take the sandpaper and knock the burrs off the bottom. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Junar and I'm gonna set it up here on the balance beam and find out exactly where it balances. And then we're going to take the Tucker, put it on the balance beam, and make it balance in the same spot. And you say, well, why is that so important? Or, what's the reason behind that? Well, the Tucker and the Junar are the exact same airplane. The balance point of any airplane is on the wing. It's not on the airplane itself. The numbers are the same on both airplanes. The wing's the same, the nose moment's the same, the tail moment's the same. It's got the same, amount of area on the stabilizer. So this balance beam cost me $2. It was 94 cents for the pencils, free piece of wood, and I think it was 80 some cents for the erasers. Walmart. So we'll use orange erasers. I'm going to keep these erasers in a straight line. I know this is probably pretty general knowledge for some of you guys, but there are some people out there that watch this channel that really don't know what's going on. So this is for them. If you're an up and coming flyer or new person or new to building, whatever, this is useful information. Now I need a felt tip. I got my felt tip here. There's my balance beam. Let's get a better view of what's going on here. All right, this is the balance beam. Let's get the first airplane off the wall. I got a feeling they probably balance pretty much in the same spot, but I just want to double check. Huh. These damn erasers here, they ain't like the old ones, they just bend over. Oh, shoot. So, these erasers won't work, but the pencils will. Pencils ain't gonna bend over. Okay, that's the balance point right there. Or pretty close. Let's mark it. That's pretty close right there. Okay. Of course, it didn't mark. Man, I can't win today. I know, we'll put some tape on it. Oh, shoot. Can't win. Gotta get. Boy, it's hell working in a little shop like this. Not even a shop, it's just the bathroom. Okay, so I got that. Let's see, is this pen working? Yeah, pen's working. Set this down. Set this down. Yeah. Okay, try again. Now I need some tape. Piece of tape. There we go. I say the balance is just ahead of the high point. So I think the thing that makes this airplane so magic is it's so light. It's going to get a refinish someday. So, pretty close to the center. It'll stick. Not really. Remember, it doesn't matter how long your airplane is or what the moments are or whatever, it balances on the wing. The wing is what sets the balance, the airfoil of the wing. Get the thing to stick down. A lot of castor oil on this thing. And we'll do the same thing with the tucker and then see where I'm at as far as, do I have to add nose weight or tail weight? I'm hoping not to have to add any weight. Okay, I can put this one back up. Okay. Oop. Got to give it a little more room so I can operate here. I guess I could set it on the couch. Let me get this up here. Man, it's so close. Right there. Okay. We have a spot. Set this down. Move this. Measure this. So from the trailing edge, it's at 80 centimeters or whatever the hell them are. I need a ruler, something that I can read. I hate metric. Yeah. Eight and 3/16. Okay, we're done with this one. Eight and 3/16. Now, if the Nats was in July like it's supposed to be, all this would have been done already. But I'm down to the end of the wire here. 8 and 3/16. So this airplane, well, it's got a lot of goop on it. I think I'm gonna knock the wire loose again. 8, 3, 6. You know, a lot of people think that the airplane balances, you know, on the fuselage or whatever. It, like I say, it balances on the wing, and that's all you really got to worry about. Unless of course you talk to some aircraft engineer or something. So they'll tell you all kind of stuff. 8 3/16 will make a mark. You know what? Put some tape on it. I don't want to mar it up before the appearance judging. It's going to be somewhere in here. Of course, I don't want to stick. Nope, don't want to stick, so I have to get some alcohol and wipe it off. Paper towel. You guys got any questions on what the heck I'm doing? I mean, does it make sense to you? Because if it doesn't, I will explain it. Phew. This is only 70 proof, but should make the tape stick. 12 and 7. Okay, 8 3/16. This airplane should balance on that mark, and if it doesn't, that's why it flies it does fly just a little bit different than the other one. And I don't want that. I'd like to fly the same. So I got like putting an old shoe on. And if it doesn't, I'm going to have to figure out too nose heavy, lighter spinner, if it's too tail heavy, a steel nut or some type of nose weight on it. Okay. And if it's close enough, well, that's all it takes. A little nose heavy. right there. Okay, it's about 1/8 of an inch ahead of that mark. So that means I need to take some weight off the nose. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the rudder's bigger or not. It all balances off the wing. So what I can try here is I have this this weenie on here. This little weenie, we'll take that off and see that move the CG back where it belongs. If that's the case, I'll weigh that up and then start weighing spinner parts. Okay. So that's it. That is the difference. The weight of this weenie is the difference. So when I get to the gnats, I'll try to fly it without the weenie and see if it's better. Let's see how much that weenie weighs. Three-tenths. 9 grams. There's approximately 9 grams difference in balance. 9 grams. I have the short. Don't know what else I can do. That it's kind of a bummer. This weenie is kind of important to keep all the crap off your airplane. But if it's going to make it fly bad, vertical CG. It actually should be the horizontal CG. What I just did there is vertical CG. Horizontal CG is fore and aft. And where that comes into play is on a piped airplane where the pipe is slung underneath the center of the wing line. And what happens there is if you get a lot of weight slung under the wing, you can do a couple of things. You can drop the lead outs down underneath the center line of the wing as a trim. You got to build it in there. All my piped airplanes have the lead outs dropped approximately 3/8 of an inch. What happens there is that centrifugal force is always trying to line things up. So as you're flying around, the extra weight of the pipe is forcing the outboard wing up, and because it's all trying to line up. And the faster you go, the more it forces it out. So, we tried to build these airplanes like sprint cars. Sprint car is always crabbing or turning left. So you want to set it in a crab. You want to put stagger and wedge in it. Stagger is a bigger right front tire. And what that does is make the car want to go left, but even though you're turning the wheel right. So that's what we're doing with these airplanes. When you build the inboard wing a half inch to an inch longer, you use less tip weight. Now that sounds goofy because statically, while you're setting it on the ground and you pick it up in the center line of the airplane, the inboard wing is going to drop because it has lead outs and it's an inch longer. So obviously it's going to want to roll in on you. But what you're not taking into consideration is the longer length creates more lift. And you want enough lift in that wing to compensate for the weight of the lines. And that's what the wingtip weight does. It compensates for the weight of the lines. And this is all pretty basic trimming stuff. At least I found out why this airplane turns a little different than the other one. Because we were running a little nose heavy. Because what I could do is, that's a big arc muffler. I could go to the other lighter muffler, which is I could take the muffler off of that airplane and put it on this with the weenie. I think that's the difference. Let's see here. Yep, that is the difference. The big arc muffler is heavier than the dinger muffler. Oh, no problem. It's always trying to straighten itself out. So it's going to fly with the outboard wing up with more weight underneath the horizontal line. So if you drop the lead outs down to the bottom of the tip, it drops the center line down a little more. So you get that out of there without adding any extra weight, if that makes sense. Everything's about weight. You know, when I messed with Ron O'Toole, which was a guy who was a Missouri State Youth Air Champ in about 1962 or whatever, and he flew with Billy, and he always said, it's all about weight, it's all about weight. And I thought, yeah, right, whatever. He's exactly right. It's all about weight. And the lighter you can make it, the better the performance is going to be. And the less trimming, extreme trimming you're going to have to do. If you can lighten the load up, you don't have to add sinkers in the nose. And the heavier the airplane, the more tail heavy it's going to be. And the more tail heavy it is, the less directionally stable it is, because it's always wanting to float, if that makes sense. So you add nose weight, and there you go. You got that sinker in the nose for them goofy turns. And believe it or not, I could feel the difference in the weight just by this. So what I think I'm going to do, because I don't have a whole lot of time, is I'm going to take the muffler off the Junar, and we're going to swap it out so I can put the weenie back on it, and then we'll reweigh it. Or rebalance it. I wonder how much problem that's going to be to get that out of there. Probably a huge problem. But what else do I have to do on a Wednesday night? We got to lighten the load. You know, I buy them $100 CAS tanks so that I can get the weight off the nose, and then if you got to add shit on it to get it to balance, that ain't no good. There we go. I guess I could clean that muffler up because it sure looks like crap. This airplane flies so good. I wish it wasn't so ratty looking. Let's see, can I get this out of here? Yep. Oh, man. Got it. I had them babies on there. I'm gonna have to clean this up though, because it looks like hell. I'll show you the difference in the weights of these two mufflers. And that should probably bring it right in line where it needs to be. Same link lines, same handle adjustment for both airplanes. This one will get a refinish, I believe. Maybe we'll do that project after the Nats. Got some goobers on there. So hopefully my airplane will lighten up a bunch. I was just using this muffler because I bought another Dinger muffler like that, but it was for an Enya. We relocated the holes and it kind of set the exhaust port back a little bit, and I didn't want to restrict any flow, so I put this. This is an original Big Art muffler, and it's very heavy. Not very heavy, but it's heavier than the Dinger. So this muffler here, weighs 51 grams. And apples to apples, we got to take this tube off of here. 51. Tear. 35. Much better. So now I can put this back on with the weenie, and it should be less than 51. So put this together. $43. Perfect. It'll balance exactly right. It'll be perfect. I just need to clean this up before the weekend. I'll put in some carburetor cleaner or something. So that's my madness. And that kind of gives you an idea what you can do to straighten things out. You don't want to add any concentrated weight. If your plane is tail heavy, or even if it's nose heavy, try not to add concentrated weight, meaning a sinker or a lead washer or anything like that. It's best to swap the parts around for lighter parts and distribute the weight evenly. It even looks like it balances better. But I could feel that when I was flying it. Just that little extra bit of nose weight. So now I'll put this. I think I'll put that dinger muffler on the other one. The other one I have. Because it's gonna sit. We might drag that other one out later on in the season. Okay, want to see how much did I drop in weight? It was 62 and a half. Then we want to get a balance on it. So we did it all in less than an hour, which is good. Good. $17.62. For you guys that want to know how many grams it is, it's 1762. So we'll figure that out here. So we got 1762 divided by 28. 62.19. So it lost almost a quarter ounce. Close enough. So let's see how it balances. Still 4 ounces heavier than the other one. Not good. I wish it was lighter, but I guess I didn't have as good a wood for this one. That's it right there, see? I put it right on the money and let her rip. That's the spot right there. I hope that made sense. That's how you do it. That's how I do it anyway. Let's see what happened to the mouse. Huh. I've lost the mouse. Here it is right here. Okay. Any questions on why I did that? Or, I showed you how I did it, but why I did it, pretty self-explanatory. When you're flying along and you have to input more control to get it to do the same turn, it's too nose heavy. And it was only a 1/4 ounce nose heavy, and I could feel that. And it won't affect the glide rate a bit. So, not a 1/4 ounce. If it was 2 ounces, it might do something goofy. But a 1/4 ounce, it should be all right. So we've been on 50 minutes, almost the hour. I'm hoping you guys will join us for the Nats coverage. I'm kind of looking forward to this year's Nats. I'm gonna take this table and all the camera gear, and I got help this time, so hopefully we can do a good production. Maybe I got help. Usually what happens is they say, "Oh yeah, I'll help you," and then when they start, "Oh no, this is too much. It's a lot of work." That is. But we'll see what we can do. That 1 year at Brodax, I had Charles helping. I had a couple other guys I gave cameras to. I said, go film whatever. I got some footage. Some people just aren't camera people. Anyhow, I pulled her back into balance. I'm pretty happy. I'm happy with what I did here today. I know that it will fly better. When I fly an airplane, I can tell within the first couple of laps, is this airplane within trim? Is it going to perform the way it's supposed to? And after the second flight, I can just about tell you, they say to do only one thing at a time. Only move the lead outs, I do everything I think that it's going to take, because I built so many of them. Move the lead outs back. I always build my airplanes with 3 degrees motor offset, so we don't ever have to worry about rudder offset and all that other nonsense. But move the lead outs back, add a little tip weight, change the balance, whatever, and I can do it all in one deal, and then it usually is pretty close, and then it's fine tuning like I'm doing here. Get out and fly it, and how does it perform? When the airplane comes out of a turn and it's hopping, if it doesn't immediately snap right out, you're probably too nose heavy, believe it or not. You'd think, well, you're tail heavy. Now, what happens is you're putting input into the handle to try to get it to turn that sharp turn, and you're not getting back off the handle fast enough. So that's why you lengthen the overhang out. And it's probably too nose heavy, because otherwise the input would be just slightly, back on it, and it would turn and lock. Of course, I'm no Paul Walker. I'm no Bill Warridge, but I got a pretty good grip on things. Any questions? We got 17 watchers, 13 likes. I'm here to answer any questions if you got any. You can always ask me on the forum, send me a private message or whatever. I'm looking forward to see the gang at the Nets. I wish it could be there. Yeah, Gary, I wish you could be there too. The gang. I really enjoy when they have appearance at the 180 Club, to be honest with you. That seems like a big gathering. Last year when we had it out at the, on the L pad, it's hot. There's no shade. Yeah, a couple of tents to be, it's terrible. But we're planning for this. We're going to have the tents, electricity, a fan. I don't want to burn up out there this year. I just was researching how to make an air conditioner out of a fan, and I may do that, depending if Walmart has the parts. And all it takes is an ice cooler and a pump and about 20 foot of tubing. And you just take the tubing and you make a coil around the fan, and you put ice in the ice chest along with some water, and you pump cold water through this tubing going around the fan, and then the fan is blowing, and you got air conditioning. Not a swamp cooler either, air conditioning. Do you shape the engine mounts to get the 3 degrees offset? Absolutely. Let me give you an example. I can see, I got the motor out of one airplane here hanging on the wall. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it or not. When the spinner's on, you can't really tell. When the spinner's off, let me pull this so it's straight on. Let me get a ruler up here and I'll show you. Shoot. Here we go. Got no room here. Yeah, underneath the wires. Might unplug it. I don't know. Okay, this is basically pointed straight down. See if I can get out of the way of the camera. If you look here, this would be parallel to the trailing edge, but it's actually cocked like that, out. If that makes sense. I'm going to go around this way. Shit. Now the many guys will tell you, put it at zeros. I think Brett Buck will say 0. I think Fitzgerald will say 0. I think Walker will say 0. But I also see him crawling on the ground in the overheads too. And I particularly don't care for that. I want that thing pulling, If you measure the prop at the leading edge, one tip will be about 3/16 of an inch closer. The outboard tip will be 3/16 of an inch closer to the leading edge than the inboard. And that helps a lot. If you watch some of them guys they're scrunching down on the ground in the overheads, not me. And you can ask some of the guys that watch me fly at Brodak, I can do maneuvers into the wind. And on a light airplane, right into the wind, no problem. And that's because I got motor offset. It helps a lot. It's not like a Bislob motor offset, but it's pretty substantial. And when you put the spinner on it and shape the nose, you can't see it until you take the spinner off, and then you can see it. But every airplane I got 3 degrees motor offset. You just make the engine bearers, 32nd of an inch wider than the crankcase, and cock that motor in there till it touches, and then drill the holes. Make sure you're pointing it in the right direction, because you certainly don't want 3 degrees of motor inset. The speed guys run 1 degree in thrust, believe it or not. That's to keep the pressure off the lines, and they can go faster, but I ain't looking for that. Well, we've been on an hour. I thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for, I'll be on tomorrow night, but I don't know what we'll do. We'll do something. I'm getting ready for the Nats, so it's going to be, everything's preparation for the Nats for me now. I don't expect to do much because I don't have much practice in, but we'll have fun, It'll be a lot of fun. I really enjoy going. I get to eat at the steakhouse. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.